What's up, guys? Welcome back. So pretty much, first and foremost, I want to say thank you guys for everybody reaching out who has reached out on Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube, and just showed a bunch of love, especially after revealing what happened in my situation with HOA, the situation with my getting my hand a second-degree burn. And let me go ahead and say my hand is healing up a lot better now. It's starting to slowly scab up now, create the new skin barrier, and basically I'm just trying to protect it from any infection, which is kind of hard for me to do, especially get out here, try to do anything dirty or any of that stuff, because I don't want to run the risk of either hitting it by accident, scraping it, ripping it open, and getting another infection, because the infection truly sucked, and basically I don't want to go through that again. So what I've been doing off camera, guys, is pretty much addressing everything that needed to be addressed here at home in regards to the HOA. As you guys already seen, HOA has been on my behind because of cars, oil stains, and just BS. And honestly, now they're just looking for a thing to kind of provoke things and make things a little bit worse, which is what I'm trying to avoid, because I don't want to end up moving to live where I live at. I just hate the HOA. But I did address to my concrete and my driveway, and let me go ahead and show you guys what I did. So if you guys remember correctly, I had two big stains on my concrete, and before I put the company that I ended up using in their degreaser, let me go ahead and say I am not being paid for any of this. They do not even know I'm putting this out there. I just want to recognize what needs to be recognized that's real and what works. I honestly tried Simple Green, I tried Zep, I tried 504 on concrete, tried kitty litter, gasoline, burning it, and that stuff works, but it doesn't work to the extent that this product works to. And let me go ahead and plug you guys in. Again, I'm not being paid for this. I'm just recognizing what's real and what deserves recognition. So after picking up my head from SB Machine Shop in San Bernardino, California, I seen that they sell engine degreaser and also assembly lube to assemble your engines for the cams and so on and so forth. And so I reached out to them asking them for a bottle because I wanted to try it. A lot of people, I seen the reviews even messaging them and him posting it up there saying that this product works. So I wanted to give it a try before I did anything else, because the other product wasn't simply working for me. So I used this with a rinky-dink hose and a goddamn rinky-dink brush, or should I say broom. I let it sit for a minute, give or take, and then I rinsed it off. And I gotta say, once they dried up, the stains were 90% gone. So if any of you guys are interested in this, hit him up on Instagram. I'll put his description in put his link into the description, and you guys can hit him up for your guys' own bottle. I honestly put my name on it, and I'll say this shit actually works and will clean a lot of stuff that you guys can possibly use this for, degrease stuff, you know, to get rid of degrease on your engine, everything else, especially on the concrete. As you guys seen, my concrete now looks amazing compared to what it used to look like, and hopefully HOA will stay off of my ass. So pretty much I think what we're going to do in this video, guys, is actually be addressing these rear doors. These are the rear doors that used to belong on the car before I sent it out to get painted. As you guys know, I swapped these doors out because they had damage to them. So it's the two rear doors I need to take apart again, because the doors that I put on there and I had to take apart, send it to paint and everything else, actually had tinted windows, and that's something that I do not want to rock any tinted windows on it. Plus the tint is already bubbling from the age of it, and honestly I don't want any of that to be on the car, and I want it to look as proper as possible and look good, because if I were to leave the moldings that go around the windows, you will see it looks like shit. guys, so pretty much windows out, quarter of the window is out also. The only thing I need to remove from this now is just the seal, the inside seal and the outside seal, and also remove this electronic latching because mine is power and this is a manual one. So I'm going to try to remove all of this to have it as backup, and then from there we can be ready to go. I'm also going to remove door hinges just to have them as spares because you never know what can ever happen, and it's better to be a hoarder than not be a hoarder and have to end up buying more parts. All right guys, so pretty much second door is down, and man, that shit fucking hurt. Kept hitting my hand. So now I got everything that I need for the 2 rear doors. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything up now, and then I gotta go take my daughter to dance class real quick. Actually not real quick, I'm gonna be there for a little bit. So it looks like Moldings are gonna have to wait for possibly tomorrow or later on tonight so we can at least get that started. But yeah, let me go ahead and clean this up, take my daughter to dance, and then we'll hopefully come back and be able to start a little bit more on the moldings so we can continue making some progress at least, so when the car is ready for paint or coming back from paint, we can start doing our work. All right guys, so what we're gonna do is I was gonna use 1,000 grit, but I'm only gonna use 600 grit. All I want to do is pretty much smooth it out because, as you can tell, it has scratches on it, and it does have a little bit of like severe scratches, you can just say, you know, and corrosion. I guess here it looks like it was really hit or like bumped against something. Some of them have it, some of them don't. So I want to do my best to bring them back up to life. So I think 600 grit is going to be the best thing to use. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, put you guys on a time lapse, clean them up, show you guys after, and then from there I'll probably hit it with like 1,000 grit after. But we'll see how it comes out. Hopefully it turns out good, and that way we can move on to the side moldings. So I did one, and these scratches are pretty bad. The good thing about it is that I actually ordered another set from Yahoo Japan. So I'm just gonna do this meanwhile because the other ones aren't gonna arrive for another couple of weeks in all honesty. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just, like I said, doing a mild finish on this set here, and then go ahead and either swap them out depending on how the other ones are. I'm hoping that the other one is good. I believe this is for the rear, so you won't be able to really see it because it's in the back, the way it molds onto the back end of it. So we're just gonna go ahead and rock it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get as much of it out as possible without it looking weird. So let's just keep pushing forward. All right, guys, so we're gonna use this. So we're gonna put 2 coats on it, 1 or 2 coats. It takes about 10 minutes to 15 minutes like to flash. So within that time, we'll put the both coats on. So let's just go ahead and put this on for now and call it a day. All right, guys, that was coat number 1. So now let's let it flash, let it absorb into the plastic. Again, this is not gonna be like a show quality, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna, I left some of the scratches there to bring it back like the regular texture of the moldings, because as we know, the rubber moldings have a texture, except for like some like the USDM ones are really flat and really smooth. These are not. I wanted to have that extra texture. Hopefully the black trim paint will be able to grab that once we get to that part. All right, guys, time for coat number 2. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. That way we can let it dry, and then we'll go ahead and start putting the primer sealer on it. All right, guys, so that is coat number 2. So as you can see, it's coming out okay. It doesn't look like there's any like blotches on the plastic itself, or the rubber or plastic, or whatever you want to call it. Usually when there's blotches, that means there was some grease left over, so it's not going to adhere. From my understanding, that's what the painter or the paint shop explained to me. So we're going to go ahead and let it cure for a little bit. We're going to give it about another 5 minutes, and then from there we'll go ahead and add a light coat of primer sealer. That way, that's at least another bonding agent that we can have to it. So let's just let it cure, and then we'll move on to the next phase. Alright, guys, there you guys go. So we got a primer on it. Like I said, I only had a little bit of it, but it's still on to where it has enough coverage on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry for a couple of minutes, let it start bonding to it, and then from there we will go ahead and put the trim black. This is the one I'm using. It's the Seam, so shit's very expensive, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I do have another one that is slightly used, so I'm gonna use this, finish this off before I use that one. So let's go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll put a couple coats of Sem paint on it, or the trim black. Alright, guys, so that is the final coat. It's coming out pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, you know, there you can still see some of the scratches and stuff like that. I am perfectly fine with it. Like I said, this is just temporary until we get the bumpers, and then once I receive the other moldings and check out which one's better, if I gotta refinish these again, by all means, I'll go ahead and do that. No issue whatsoever. So pretty much last coat, I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry. I'll show you guys the final product once it's all cured and dry overnight. This can actually gave me some issues. As you can see, it has basically a lot of drips, and it looks like it just kept getting stuck. So I'm not sure if it's the bottom of the cap down here that's just spraying it out, but some of it did land on it, so I've tried blending it in as much as possible. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not perfect, but it's still doable to where I'm still happy with it for now. But let's go ahead and let it dry, and then we'll catch back up after. Alright guys, so pretty much moldings are pretty much set. Unfortunately, there was some mistakes that happened, and that can of paint just started spraying everywhere. As I was spraying, it just started like spitting it towards everywhere. As you can see, it's all over the cardboard boxes, and then basically all over my floor as I tried to get it to unstick, and it just would not do that. So it pretty much ran out. It has no more compression in it, so this is the finish that I have for now, which is fine. I'll go ahead and live with it for the meanwhile, and I'll go ahead and readjust it once I order some more paint, because on my last can, it didn't give me any of that issue, as you guys can see here. So I'm not sure what went on with that can. Maybe it was just a defective can, but hopefully the next cans don't wind up like that. Alright guys, I apologize. I forgot to do an outro to this video, so let me go ahead and do it now. And if you guys already seen the other videos, if any of you guys are interested in any of these, hit me up and basically we'll get you taken care of. But back to the moldings real quick, and then I'll go ahead and give you guys a little bit more info on the motor. But as you guys can see, pretty much all the moldings are 100% complete, painted, retrimmed, and also the bumper moldings. I thought they were going to come out a little bit bad because of the way the can was spraying, and thank God it did not. It actually blended in pretty well, and it's going to go ahead and do. I am going to give it another coat. I did order new ones. Moldings, as I already said, from Japan. They're not new, but they are used. They look like they were in better condition, and those actually have clips, because I didn't notice when I purchased these off Yahoo Japan, they did not have the clips. Only 2 moldings had the clips, and unfortunately I believe these you can only run the JDM clips on them. I am going to go ahead and try some USDM ones and see if they mount in. If they work, then they work. As far as the bumper moldings, they actually came out pretty decent for what they are. I'm not hating on them, and I'm not mad the way they came out. I'm actually pretty satisfied with it. So I think we're just going to go ahead and rock this for now, and then hopefully I can find the clips for these moldings. And again guys, huge shout out to Dana and the S1 team for helping me out, coming down, chilling, and inviting me to the barbecue. It was a pleasure being there, and honestly it's just good to vibe out and chill for once. It's been a while since I did that, and again, huge shout out to Dana, especially for helping me out get this motor somewhat together. We're still missing a few pieces, such as the guides and the timing chain, and then getting it fully timed up and everything. But at the end of the day, I am truly satisfied that the motor's basically put back together, and now we can concentrate on everything else that we need to do to it. So hopefully here within this next couple of weeks, guys, we will have the EK sedan back. There's going to be a huge update on the paint, and I hope you guys are really ready for that, because again, I keep saying it over and over again, I'm truly excited to get this car back, to be able to put some more work into it, start doing the all-wheel drive setup. And then again, I'm gonna go ahead and say it again, huge shout out to S1 Built Son for helping me out and donating and just giving me the opportunity to be able to rock with them, and helping me out with the rear all-wheel drive wagon axles for the rear differential that we're going to be rocking. So once that car comes here, we are going to go ahead and concentrate on getting some of this stuff together, and then start working on the all-wheel drive setup along with the fuel cell setup, so that way the back end, and we can start moving forward. So again guys, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time guys.